I want to go back to begin with to the first time or times that you met Mr. Mulroney and your business affairs in Canada. You told Mr. Wilson, as I recall, that you originally came from Germany.
Yes.
And you came to Canada in the 1970s, roughly?
Yes.
Were you living here or just had businesses in Canada?
I was living here for a while.
In the West, in Edmonton and Calgary, is that correct? And you had businesses in Alberta, or involved in Alberta, correct?
Yes.
Among other places, Costa Rica?
Yes.
Yes, Germany?
Yes.
And Newfoundland?
Yes.
And in Newfoundland, were you involved with Mr. Moores and Mr. Cogger in some land that you own there?
Yes.
In the 70s or early 80s, did you have any business interests in Quebec, in the province of Quebec?
Yes, I started a company there for road safety products and road marking.
And when was that? Early 80s?
Early 80s, yeah.
And the early 80s is the time when you met Mr. Mulroney when he was president of IRNOR?
Yes.
Before he became leader of the Conservative Party in 1983?
Yes.
Well, first of all, these meetings take place in Montreal, and I'm talking about before he becomes leader of the Conservative Party.
Yes.
And those meetings occurred at the Ritz-Carlton.
Yes.
You say from an email from Mr. McKay? The letter we went through this morning, remember that, right?
Yes.
You said there that the only thing that was true about your relationship with Mr. Mulroney included what was said in Eurocopter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, there's no shaking your head. You're not saying that what you said about Mr. Mulroney and your relationship in Eurocopter was false.
No, I agree with you.
It's true.
Yeah.
Right. You're casting your mind back to 79 or so when you may have had the first contact, correct? And you go on to say, I can't tell you that. I recall I met him at the Ritz-Carlton for 1, 2, or 3 times when I was in Montreal, right?
Yes.
And those meetings were at the time before he was leader of the Conservative Party, correct?
Hang on.
So before he became leader of the party, you had 1, 2, maybe 3 meetings with him, all at the Ritz-Carlton.
I'm not sure.
Well, that's what you say there.
Yep.
You said that 5 years ago, sir,
but
right?
This is what I recall, Mr. Brett.
Yes, that's your best recollection.
Yeah.
So we're clear that you told the judge there you had 1, 2, maybe 3 meetings with Mr. Mulroney at the Ritz-Carlton before he became leader of the opposition, right?
Yes.
So it wasn't 5 or 6 meetings, as you indicated a couple of days ago. It was 1, 2, maybe 3.
I still don't know today exactly.
Well, you knew in 2004. You said 1, 2, or 3, that's it.
Mr. Brett, this was my recollection.
Yes. And so should we not rely on your recollection in 2004 rather than the change you made a day or 2 ago when you said 5 or 6?
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. There weren't meetings in a boardroom at the Ritz-Carlton, were they?
No, most of them were in a restaurant or in a side room.
In the side room?
Yes.
Weren't they at the bar at the Ritz-Carlton?
It's a bar as well.
It's a bar. Right.
Yes.
And so they were social occasions where you happened to be present when Mr. Mulroney was also there. Is that not correct?
Yes.
You were there with a lot of other people.
No.
Well, were you just you and Mr. Mulroney?
It depends. I mean, when I came there the first time, I was with Mr. Moores and Mr. Cogger, or Mr. Wolf.
Right. At the bar. At the Ritz-Carlton.
I'm not sure whether in the bar or whether in the room next to the bar. I cannot recall that.
You mean on the first floor of the Ritz-Carlton? We've all been there at that time, right? You didn't reserve a room to meet.
No.
It was a lounge. It was a public place.
I was not in a room. It was a public place.
It was a public place.
Yeah.
So there were not meetings at which any business was transacted. They were purely social occasions.
I had no business with him at that time.
Right, so they were purely social occasions.
And political.
You talked politics.
Yes.
Yes.
You see, the whole reason why I was brought there was the request for support for his political work. I was not there to entertain him or to sing for him.
I'm going to not ask you to sing today. Heard enough of that so far. You supported his leadership bid in 1976, did you not?
This is what it was all about.
He didn't win in 76.
Please?
He did not win the leadership in 76.
76?
1976.
1976. No.
No what?
I think I was not involved in that.
Well, we'll look at
Sounds too early for me, 76. When you think about this, think how many years this are minus this. It was not a center problem in my mind or in my life. We said hello to each other, and then he went on to Mr. Monk.
So it wasn't a meeting so much as a coincidental encounter.
Well, I don't know what the difference is, but you may be right. It was not a set-up meeting with Mr. Mulroney. It happened on the occasion of the, what you say, the event for Mr. Monk.
All right. And so it was simply running into each other, exchanging pleasantries for a short time, and
yes.
then he goes to his table.
Yes.
It was not an official meeting in any way, shape, or form.
No. We met again before he left, as I said earlier.
The second meeting that you say happened at that dinner.
Yes.
Did you stand up and go up to him as he was coming back from the washroom?
No.
No?
He came on his way out because he had to pass my table.
Okay. And then you got up?
Yes.
And spoke with him?
And he came over to say goodbye anyhow.
Okay. But again, that wasn't an official meeting?
No.
Okay. In your affidavit at paragraph 33, you describe that meeting and you define it as the, quote, Royal York meeting, unquote. Do you see that? And then you say you refer to the same so-called Royal York meeting where you've capitalized meeting at paragraph 34, third line. You see that?
You refer to 33 or to 34?
Both.
34, though, now?
Start paragraph 33. Second line of 33, you've referred to the meeting at the Royal York, which you defined in quotation marks, the Royal York meeting, unquote. You see that? And then you refer to that Royal York meeting in the third line of 34, right?
Yes.
And all it is a chance encounter.
Yes.